You're just scrambling
You're
your
just
life away.
running around out there, trying not to get that hand hit. Was that a baseball mitt on his hand?
It looked like it.
My God. What are we doing?
Okay, I had this issue all weekend. Like, why is Daniel Jones playing in that game? Why is Jaden Daniels playing in that game?
Jones had a fracture, right?
Yes, on the other leg.
On the leg. Yeah, like, why are we doing this?
I watched
This is a violent
Jaden Daniels'
sport.
arm do something that it was not supposed to do.
This is a violent sport, man. You cannot be sending these dudes out here with fractures and a week off of surgery. And like, yep, go out there and compete, man.
Yes.
Come on.
Good luck.
Come on, man.
Don't die.
That was my issue when old boy came back. Smith. Alex.
Yes.
With the, what was it? Was it his ankle, his knee? One of them things is ankle.
It was the ankle.
It looks awful. Awful. It's like, oh, I get you want to go out the way you want to go out, but like, did you just look it up?
Yeah.
Oh no, you shouldn't have done that.
I know.
That's
hate when
hideous.
I see pictures of his leg. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm so sorry, Mr. Smith. It's not your fault.
I used to really like Alex Smith, and still do.
I still do.
Still
I
do.
respect him.
Like as a football player, as a quarterback, like, you know what? I can make some things work with that on my fictitious team. What was the song?
No song. I talked to my husband the whole drive over.
Are y'all okay?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Yeah, we were just giggling about something.
Oh,
we got
okay.
lost in the giggles.
Oh, all right.
Which is funny because I called him right after I left, and I had just been with him. And then we just chatted away.
Oh,
And then
okay.
I was like,
That's
I just pulled
beautiful.
in, and he goes, "You didn't listen to a song." And I said, "I'll talk about it on the show."
That's beautiful. That's
It
hashtag
was. It was a good
love.
way to start the day.
Yeah, man. How long y'all been married?
Oh, don't ask hard questions.
Okay, I'm sorry.
3 years?
When did you 22 or 21?
22.
Okay, so
So
3.
going on, yeah,
Yeah, so 3.
yeah,
Going on 4.
yeah. 3 years married, but together.
For an eternity.
13?
Y'all have been soulmates. Y'all were
13.
together in a previous life. Do you feel like y'all were together in a previous life?
No.
Oh.
So we found each other.
Oh,
in this one. Isn't that
how beautiful.
Isn't that sweet? What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, December 9th. Going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, Mike Wallace will join us to talk Grizzlies, the pending John Morant return, what he has seen from a team that has won 5 of its last 6 games. And then former Memphis Tiger Will Coleman will join us as well. We'll talk about the Tigers' big win over Baylor. We'll do some squats. We'll chat about the Memphis-Louisville rivalry that kicks back up this weekend. We'll also get into last night's Monday Night Football action. Saw something I have never seen before, courtesy of Jalen Hurts. We'll do some TV Tuesday, what we're watching. Golden Globe noms came out. It's a Tuesday. You know what we say. Mike Wazowski.
I didn't tell you I watched a Diddy doc. We hadn't had a chance to talk off air about that.
The world needs B2K.
B2K's breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour.
The Grizzlies are the one thing everyone in the family can agree on. So join us every Sunday this season for Sunday Family Fun Days. It's a steal at just $35 and includes a ticket to the game, a $10 food voucher, post-game free throws on the court, and a meet and greet with mascot Grizz. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now for this unique experience your family won't soon forget. Go to grizzlies.com/Sunday and have a fun day.
How did this happen? How are you the president of basketball operations after all you have done right in the music world, in the entertainment world, in the fashion world?
Basketball changed my life, saved my life, and I grew up in New Orleans, and it's all about helping the next generation. God has led me on this amazing journey, and I'm taking advantage of it.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurts. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a great start to your week. CJ, how was the start of your week?
Awful. Terrible.
Because you lost.
Got waxed in tennis.
Waxed.
Last Flex League match of the year. Just got demolished. Just got beat by dudes who know what they're doing. And we talked about it. The helpless feeling you have when you're like, they are targeting me. They want me to hit it back because they know I can't do anything. And to fail constantly. Lost 6-2, 6-2. Terrible. Awful.
Your tennis career not taking off.
I mean, it's
I'm proud
my
of
first
you.
year.
I'm proud of
I'm
you.
a rookie.
You're not just a rookie. You're like a level 1.
Yeah.
And
Well,
one
no,
day
I'm a
you'll-
3. I'm a 3.5.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Get some respect on.
We will get into all things.
I can hold a racket, Jessica. I can hit the ball back.
You can serve.
I can. Yeah, if that's what we're going to call what I do. Yeah, sure.
So you're 3.5.
I'm a 3.5.
Okay, that's a very fair assessment. We should do more things like karate in this world where you have the various belt colors because it's a way more fun way to designate how far along you are in the process of something.
What belt do you think you'd get? Like, because I want to do this for everything, career and all of that. What belt do you think you'd get career-wise?
Oh, I forget the exact designations. I think I'm at like a purple belt.
Okay.
It's like a ways in.
Okay.
Like I'm not a black belt.
What is the
I still
belt?
have ways to
I have
grow.
to figure out what the belt rankings are.
I just know white belt is the beginning and black belt is the best. And there's a lot in between. I got to an orange belt in karate. I tried to chop a piece of wood with my hand and it didn't go very well. And that was my final karate experience. I went to a karate competition. I went to a competition at a convention center, I remember. Yeah, and I had to do my moves. And then I tried to break the piece of wood, and it didn't go well. And I said, I don't want to do that anymore. That kind of hurt. As CJ figures out the colors of the belts, yes.
All right, so you said,
okay, you have them.
you go, I think you go white, yellow,
Okay.
orange, green, red, purple, blue, brown, red, orange, black.
You start having like the double colors.
And then you get the double
Because
colors
I think
in
I
there.
was an orange green, if I remember correctly.
All
And
right.
that was the end of the road. Yeah, we should have those. It'd be a more fun way.
You said you got to what now?
Orange green.
You got to orange. So orange shows the student is progressing and beginning to grasp techniques more thoroughly.
That was me.
Green would have indicated a noticeable progress and development of stronger, more controlled movements. That's why you had to break the board. So it's like, hey, I got the techniques down.
Now I have to apply them.
I can apply them with enough force to be dangerous.
But I can't.
Okay.
I really wanted to break the concrete brick.
Oh my.
But that felt
The cinder block?
Yes, but that was never gonna happen. It was never gonna happen for me. You had tennis last night. I had book club last night. We all had Monday Night Football. We'll get into Grizzlies with Mike Wallace in the next segment and Tigers with Will Coleman in the segment following. But Monday Night Football was maniacal last night, including an Eagles-Chargers game that featured 8 turnovers, and one of them was the funniest play of the season and one of the funniest turnovers that you will ever see in the game of football, and something that we have never seen before. I have never seen this before with my own eyes, and that is a 3-turnover play. One play, 3 turnovers within it, and it all started with Jalen Hurts throwing an interception, but then the Chargers fumbled it. Here's the pick. Here's the, oh God, fumble. That's Jalen Hurts recovering it. And then Jalen Hurts fumbles it as well. So that is 1, 2, 3, a 3-turnover play. And according to Elias Sports Bureau, Jalen Hurts, the first quarterback to ever commit 2 turnovers on one play. Honestly, CJ, because I think that was a thought that was going through everybody's head. Has anyone ever done this before? Has any quarterback ever had 2 turnovers on a play? My brain immediately went to Jameis Winston. I was like, if anybody has ever done this before, it's probably Jameis, and he's also probably found a way to score a touchdown on that same play. Jameis marked safe. No one has ever done it. Jalen Hurts now, the one and only.
I thought somebody did it in 1978.
Oh, whatever.
A double turnover.
Far, far, far back.
Yeah. We were twinkles in
I
our
haven't
parents'
seen
eyes.
it.
No, we have not seen it.
Oh, the men on social media will get on this and say, well, back in my day of 1970, are you not familiar with this player from 1978? Did you not? No, sir. I'm 33 years old. Like, give me a bleeping break. They had the Monsters, Inc. themed alternative cast.
It was so good.
This play broke the Monsters, Inc. broadcast. Like, they could not fathom how this was possible because Sully gets the interception when it's the Monsters, Inc. version and then loses the ball. And the ball's just going to stay there. Like, watch this. Jalen Hurts throws the pick. Sully picks him off. Go, Sully, go! Go, Sully. Drops the ball. And the ball just stays because they don't know how to handle the fact that then it turned into Jalen Hurts recovering the fumble and then fumbling himself and ultimately the Chargers ending up with the football. Like, that is a play so dumb, it glitched animation. That is a play so stupid. Like, that's the kind of play that you dream up in your little brain while you're playing fantasy football and you're trying to make fake math work. And you're like, God, I could just win this game if somehow Jalen Hurts had a play where he had -4 points. Like, what if he threw a pick and then also fumbled it on the same play and then he's -4? And then it happened in real life. So many sad fantasy football players yesterday on the brink of the playoffs. My God.
Couple of things. According to Elias Sports Bureau, Hurts is the first player to commit 2 turnovers on the same play dating to 1978. I was wrong.
Okay.
So that's as far back as the stats go.
Yes.
So
We don't count anything before.
I don't think that, to your point, I think you're right. I don't think it's ever happened on the same play. 1. 2, as wacky as that broadcast was, and I watched it, I got home right when Saquon breaks that big run. So that, I see that happen on that broadcast. I'm like, oh no, they got flames. They've got water flowing for some reason. I'm not leaving this. I don't care what the hell happens in this game. That broadcast was real glitchy in general. There were
still
moments,
catching up.
There were moments when Mike or Sully or one of these other characters on the screen was just running into the crowd for some reason and like run through the crowd. I was like, hey, you got to stop him. You got to slow it up a little bit. I enjoyed seeing the down and distance marker with that monster's tongue as they jump rope on the sideline. I like the way that they used the claw to drop the ball down there on the
I
field.
think they're fun.
All in all, it was good.
Do
I enjoyed it.
Eventually turn it to watch the real football because it's hard for me to actually track the game while watching a Monsters Inc. style? Yes. I know you're the opposite. You just kept it on.
You can't. But I hear what you're saying.
It's like the Manning cast. It's too alt. It's too alternative for me.
I don't know what the hell is going on in the game. I didn't know what was going on for the most part until like Mike Wazowski was running down the field, flame coming out of his booty cheeks for some reason. It's like, oh great, look at this.
As one does.
That's a touchdown. But it's fun. It's fun. It's a different way to watch it.
Do you think
cool.
it hurts more for a team like the Eagles to have to lose as Monsters Inc. characters? They're already so unserious. The Eagles now 0-1 since putting a positivity bunny in their locker room.
Eagles are now also 0-3. Their last 3, right?
Yes.
And in their last 4 games, I think they're averaging right around 16 points per game. That offense is not doing a whole lot right now. It's great to have the positivity bunny in there, but tell me what you're taking away from the players in the locker room. Is the pinball machine still in there? Are they still playing ping pong? Pool table still in there? All of that's got to go. At this point, if you're the Eagles,
You're saying the bunny can stay.
the bunny can stay because it's a positivity bunny. But everything else, the Eagles got to be stripped down to just like raggedy lockers and one bench. Raggedy lockers, one bench, and you can't sit in the lockers, and that's it to try and get this thing handled.
I mean, the Chargers win last night, 22-19 in overtime. Justin Herbert literally playing with one hand. He has a legit defense right now. That's what it comes down to. One, legit defense. Two, Eagles turning it over all over the place. Like that last pick of Hurts to end the game, that was their 5th takeaway of the game. And the Eagles' defense was just as great. Justin Herbert was pressured on 68.3% of his dropbacks. This is the final interception for Jalen Hurts.
It was just a bunch
Tipped
of
and
that.
picked.
It was a bunch of that for Jalen. According to the Monsters, Inc. broadcast. It just looked like a bunch of that for him.
Of course. But what I was saying about Justin Herbert, pressured on 68.3% of his dropbacks, only saw a blitz on 12% of his dropbacks. That pressure rate is the 6th highest in a game over the last 10 seasons. And when you keep going through, it's like, and he scrambled on 19% of his dropbacks, and he took a sack on 17%, and he won. Like, that's a testament to just how bad the opposing offense was for the Eagles, because Justin Herbert won that game. And then he was weird. He was so dodgy on the post-game interview. I was disappointed in Justin Herbert.
What do you mean dodgy?
He didn't want to do the post-game interview. I'm like, this is your job.
He's playing a week after breaking his
Yes,
hand.
I understand that part, but he said he wanted to celebrate with his team. Like, you're how many years into the league? You know what you have to do.
Yeah.
I was like, don't do this to. It was Laura Rutledge, and I was like, don't do this to her.
But also, why we?
Well, that's a larger point.
I get it that the quarterback being the face, and you got to go talk to him. But like, why talk to that quarterback after that game? He wasn't good. He was incredible considering he's a week off of a surgery on his hand. And I don't know if you guys know that, but quarterbacks need both hands to play quarterback.
Not anymore.
He led the team in rushing with 66 rushing yards on scrambles because he's out running for his life. I get it, but why not grab one of those defensive players who forced one of those turnovers? Right?
Sure, but they didn't. And so instead you get this really awkward moment where Justin Herbert just looked like an a-hole. I was like, this is unnecessary. But again, you're right. He is coming off surgery, and he probably felt like crap.
Yeah,
so,
he's been hit. What's the percentage?
Right.
He got hit like that with a
sacked
broken
on
hand.
17% of his dropbacks.
Please don't talk to me. Please find somebody else to talk to. I'm hurting right now.
Anybody else? Can one of my teammates take this?
I think Laura Rutledge does a great job. No disrespect to Miss Rutledge or anybody who's tasked with doing those things on the sideline. But maybe, just maybe, we try and find somebody who had an impact on the game, who wasn't running for their lives with a broken body part and got walloped a couple of times, right? Maybe we do that. The Eagles should have won that game.
Yes.
The Eagles have one less turnover. They win that game. I thought it was interesting the way they handled the last drive for them in regulation, where it is, or maybe not the last one, the second last one, where they get down there in the scoring position and it's right up against the 2-minute warning. It's like 2.5 minutes left in the game. Okay, cool. Let's run this football a bit, get it to the 2-minute warning, force some timeouts to happen, and then we can try and make a play on third down. And no, the Eagles were just throwing the football. They were out there. I don't know who the receiver was, but on my TV, they were throwing it to Sullivan. They were just hurling the ball to Sullivan, stopping the clock unnecessarily for some reason.
Yeah.
Insanity.
It was an insane Monday Night Football.
Can we show the Mike Wazowski run?
You want to see it?
I want to see the Mike Wazowski.
You want to see the fire coming out of Mike Wazowski's butt?
Right out of his ass.
Okay.
As Sullivan tries to keep up.
Before we move on.
Bow,
from this.
there he is. Look at it. Sully cannot keep up with this man.
That is fun. That's Saquon Wazowski.
Who that was a chat question, but then the administrators bumped the chat question up out of there to let everybody know you can get tickets to the Grizzlies game.
Yes.
But what property should get another one of these alt casts?
We were talking about this before the show.
Yes.
I want a Disney Princess broadcast. And I don't care. It does not have to be WNBA. You don't have to gender this. Make the football players princesses. Who says no?
I think the government
Everybody
says
else.
no. I think like where we're going in that standpoint says
Fine.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a whole draft for this. As
I can't remember doing the draft.
Yeah, we sure did.
We do one of these
drafted
once a week.
But I added The Sopranos to the list this time around because I want Tony Soprano to gabagool his way to the end zone. I think it'd be funny. They're going to do a Star Wars one eventually.
You would think.
Yes, with cross promotion of hell. Yes. Yeah. They'll do a Mario Brothers one.
Have they done a Mario Bros?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So NBC will do that at some point. ABC, ESPN
we got
will do.
just a Disney character NBA game for Christmas, wasn't it? It was Christmas last year. They did the NBA
right.
characters.
That's right.
Or the Disney characters for an NBA game.
That was fun.
Yeah, Pokemon, get some of that going as well.
Yeah. Who owns Pokemon now?
Tamagotchi? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what studio? Like, who made the Pikachu movie? Who made the last
you're talking
Pokemon movie?
about
Yeah, because that impacts who would have the rights to that situation. Before we move on from football, I did want to make sure this crossed your radar, and then we'll get to Mike Wallace and talk all things Grizzlies. Did you hear that Phillip Rivers might be coming out of retirement?
I thought about sending that in, but I was like, we don't have time to discuss that
I had to make
today.
sure that we just mentioned it.
I was going to save it for oops, we missed it.
I had to make sure. I mean, he's working out today with the Colts, so we'll find out if 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, father of 10 Phillip Rivers, is the new Colts backup quarterback by the end of today.
I think it's his oldest is older than the Colts backup quarterback.
Of course.
Desperate times call for certain measures, I guess.
I mean, they're down Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson on the IR, Riley Leonard has a sore knee. So they are desperate. There's been this funny, like, fan fiction trend where people imagine a Colts movie with Carly Ursay Gordon, played by Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
And somebody was like, imagine the scene where she walks into the GM's office and says, "What about Phillip Rivers? Can he still play?" And then Sandra Bullock wins an Academy Award for that scene specifically. So we'll see. Good luck to you, Phillip Rivers. Mike Wallace is going to join us after a quick break. The Memphis Grizzlies have an interesting week with quite a few off days before their next game on Friday against the Utah Jazz, a game that perhaps will represent a Ja Morant return. We'll get the latest from Mike Wallace, talk about the Grizzlies winning as of late after a quick break.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Welcome back. It is Tuesday. That means it's time to catch up with Grind City Media senior editor Mike Wallace. He joins us every Tuesday. He joins us now. Mike, how you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm good, man. Hey, you guys see my Steelers this weekend? You see my Steelers? Yeah.
Yes, notoriously your Steelers. Yes. How are you feeling about them?
I listen. Just when these idiots tried to boo Mike Tomlin and run him out of Pittsburgh, he comes back with the most important win of the season, and now we got the division, and that's all I got to say, man. Let's just ride it out from here.
Mike, you could have chosen a better team if you're going to hop bandwagon, right? Like, it didn't have to be the Steelers.
He said the odds were good of a winning season, you know?
That's it. Hey, look, I'm just investing in the long game. The Steelers are the long game right here, man. And you remember that commercial? I forgot what it was, a Jersey commercial. But the little young lady was like, "I go where Saquon goes." So she flipped from the Giants to the Eagles. That's how I am right now with these lousy Commanders, man. Malpractice, back to malpractice over there in Washington.
I'm glad that you have a team that, at least for now, is in pole position to win its division. Meanwhile, here in Memphis, the Grizzlies with a couple days off before their next game against the Utah Jazz on Friday. And the big storyline going into that, Mike, will be, does Ja Morant play? He was obviously upgraded to doubtful. Coach Isolo said he's getting better and better every day. There was a rare schedule occurrence where between Sunday and Friday you had 4 full days off, so ample time to get the body right. Friday's game is December 12th, 12-12, a perfect day for the return of 12, almost like it was written in the stars. But I'm curious if and when Ja comes back on Friday, the team that he's joining is a very different team than the one that was playing when he got hurt in Cleveland. Like, that was a Grizzlies team that had lost 9 of their last 10 games, and now they have won 7 of their last 10 games. Where do you see the most obvious of storylines for Ja coming back and getting started with this group?
Jessica, well, I'll start with what Coach Tuomas Isolo said. Having Ja come back to your team after an injury absence is a good problem to have, right? So give me that problem. Give me more of that problem is essentially what he's saying. And he's saying that out of, number one, respect for who Ja Morant is and what he brings to the floor, right? I mean, obviously, you're talking about one of the best attackers that we have in the league, a guy that sort of calibrates your offense and gets guys in positions. But the thing about it is that this team has figured out a way not only to win without Ja, but to win with Jaren not being Jaren Jackson Jr. at his absolute best. So what you have right now is a team that has established a foundation. We know what the floor is for these Grizzlies. We know what you're going to get, for the most part, from a collection of guys, the Santi Aldamas, those guys, the Cam Spencers, the Vince Williams Jr.'s, Cedric Coward, Jalen Wells, Cam Spencer, if I hadn't already mentioned him. You know what you're going to get from that collection of 5 for the most part. 3 of those guys out of that 5 are going to bring it every single night statistically. Now what you have to do is you got to figure out, number one, how to get Jaren going and how to get Ja restarted. And, that's as much on those 2 guys as it is on anything that this system can do for them. And Ja has to come in with the right mindset. The same joy that we see when he's coaching guys up and in street clothes doing all of these things, that has to be evident on the court as well, too. Don't complain about fouls. Get up off the floor, run back on defense just like everybody else is expected to, and bring that leadership with your energy and your effort and your enthusiasm, and your game will find its way.
I saw this great picture this morning. It was part of the carousel that the Grizzlies posted from the last 2 home games. And it's where Ja's in the coat on Friday, which I love that coat, would like that coat. It's too cold not to have that coat here in Memphis. But his hands are in the air. Someone next to him's hands are in the air. And then there's a fan in the back whose hands are, so it's like 1, 2, 3. And Jalen Wells is taking the 3 and making the 3. And it was like an exuberance-filled photo. And I'm with you. Just seeing the engagement levels from Ja while he's been out has been a plus, absolutely, for this team. We saw the one Ja Edey pick and roll when they played against the Cavs, and it was like almost so unfair that we saw it because it was this tantalizing piece of what this is supposed to look like. But just what do you envision that looking like as it expands more with Ja's return?
You know, it's what these guys have talked about. That 6 minutes was the biggest tease of a 6 minutes in the entire season, right? Edey talked about it. Ja has talked about it. Isolo's talked about it. You know, Jaren Jackson Jr. opened up his game during that 6 minutes, and he became that. If you go back and watch that Cleveland game, that might have been one of Jaren's best top 2 games of the season because of how often he got to the free throw line attacking Cleveland's bigs, 2 all-star bigs in Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. And so that kind of unlocked what this team is capable of doing. Now, can you turn 6 minutes into 6 quarters? Can you turn 6 quarters into 6 games? Can you turn 6 games, you know, into the course of a season? And that's what the Grizzlies we've always known that they're a great team when it comes to teasing us with these moments and this potential. But can they deliver on sustaining those kind of things? You don't fault guys for getting hurt, but what you do say is, okay, what can you do to avoid injury? What can you do to try to keep yourself on the court as much as you can? Those are kind of the things that we need to see from that standpoint. Unlocking Edey, we've already seen that now. Now it's about sustaining. Can these guys sustain? Ja and Jaren can, the supporting cast is good enough to be a play-in level team. That's exactly where if you can find out a way to trigger and reconjure those 6 minutes, you can get the Grizzlies from a play-in team back to a playoff contender if these guys do their part. Now it's on their part, and we'll see. And I think he does play Friday. It all lines up, as you said a second ago, 12-12, the return of 12. Now let's sustain 12 and see if he can get 12 straight games played, right? And see if he can take this team to the next level that this team deserves to be at.
Mike, you bring up the supporting cast, and I want to talk about that in a moment. Get your thoughts on the players like Coward and Conchar and Cam Spencer and the like. But I really want to know what's in your cup. What are you sipping on? Is that a warm beverage?
This is a very warm beverage.
That looks like a warm beverage.
Yes. And you know what? I never used this glass mug. Right?
That's fancy, Mike.
My wife ordered it, and I you know, we ordered it. She wanted them. We ordered them. I never use them. I'm usually using something else, but I decided today, man, it's a little brisk, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring out the glass mug and put my. You like that word, don't you? You like
it
that
is
word?
Brisk.
It's kind of in the same family as moist, right? You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yes.
So yeah, I got some coffee right here, man.
That's coffee?
Yeah.
Coffee in a nice cup.
Okay, I didn't know coffee came that light skin.
My vitamin D and my B12 coffee, Nespresso infused coffee right here.
What's the phone?
Espresso infused. Okay.
Okay.
I'm straight bougie right now, man.
That's pretty bougie.
I'll admit it. Damn it, I'm bougie right now.
Good. Own it. Appreciate it. We'll get to the supporting cast that CJ mentioned. But before we do get there, I did want to ask you about Jaren Jackson Jr. because it is interesting how they have found ways to win in spite of Jaren's offensive production, especially. I thought that last game against the Trailblazers was one of the better defensive games that we've seen from Jaren, at least from a highlight standpoint. That chase down block was awesome and gave you glimpses of, oh, that's the Jaren Jackson Jr. who won Defensive Player of the Year, and we nicknamed the block Panther and everything that goes with that. But just in Tomas Isolo's system, what is the best case scenario for Jaren, in your opinion? And Coach Isolo talked a little bit about just the concept of unlocking a more aggressive Jaren. So it's on his radar, and it's something that can potentially take this team to the next step, to not just being a play-in team, but a real competitive leader in the Western Conference. What does that look like to you?
You know, I go back in the moment when I was in a post-game press conference where Isolo, you know, talked about that. And he was asked directly, okay, listen, the team is doing well. The supporting cast is doing well. How can Jaren sort of refine his way? And it made me go back to training camp. And I remember being at Belmont University after I think maybe the second session. And Isolo talked about how he's never had a player like Jaren Jackson Jr. And matter of fact, he said there aren't many unicorns like that in the world. And I've seen the world of basketball players, right? So he has one of the rare talents in terms of the collection of size, agility, athleticism, and just skill set. And that's going to be the biggest both burden and opportunity for him to unlock that. Now, I mean, training camp was in October, right? Now we're, 2 months later for the most part, and it's still not there yet. So I think to me, I think Jaren is overthinking. I think it's a combination of a couple of different things. First, I think Jaren wants to do well and he's trying to be a great teammate and he's not trying to make it about him. So he's not asserting himself as much as he should. And as much as 8 years into the league, he deserves to. I think number two, there's still some physicality things there. Jaren doesn't look like he's in tip-top shape. And I'm not saying that he's out of shape. I'm just saying he doesn't look like he's in explosive shape. And part of that is because he didn't have a summer to get his body right. He's coming off of that toe surgery, and we were lucky to get him back 2 weeks early to be ready. I'm wondering if 2 more weeks had he stayed out and worked on conditioning, could he have been at a different point at sort of an elite level? That's water under the bridge at that point. So those are two things. I think three is Isolo's system it's not complicated, but it does require you to be on top of your cerebral game. And he's not going to make it, hey, let's just clear out a side and go to Jaren Jackson Jr. He's not going to do that. He's more of an egalitarian type coach. And that doesn't always mean the best players. The best players shouldn't always get the same amount of touches as your role players, but that's what we've seen. So I think there's still there needs to be a come to Jesus moment, obviously, with this guy and this coach. And Jaren needs to say, look, man, I'm 8 years in. This ain't me. You're not getting the best out of me. And until we figure that out, then it's going to continue to be like that. I hope Jaren has that in him. I don't know if he truly really does. I think he's okay with everybody else eating and then he'll find his way. He trusts that. But it's got to be, listen, man, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. Forget the money, forget the contract. I am better than what I'm showing and I got to deliver. And I think he has to figure out a way to get with Isolo to figure that out.
The unlocking of the role players has been really promising for this team. And as bodies get healthy, it does create the conversation of who still has played well enough that they've earned minutes in a healthy Grizzlies rotation. Cam Spencer has to have, right?
He has to have. And I mean, this guy's shooting. He's the 6th best three-point shooter in the league.
Yeah.
He's giving you 5 assists pretty much a night on a regular basis at this point. Yes. Is he still sort of a defensive minus guy? Yes, he is a defensive minus at that point. But so are so many other guys, right? Like, put him on the floor with the right combination. You can figure out how to sort of mitigate that situation with his defensive challenges. But Cam Spencer, I said it before. Remember, Jess, you and I, hey, look, we together, we coined the phrase day after day, show after show. Jonas Valanciunas rolls out of bed and does what?
Gets a double-double.
Double-double. Every time it leaves Cam's hand, what's happening?
It goes in.
It goes in. It's going through the net, right?
No, I'm serious. I mean, we got into a conversation. I've now had it on the double post, and CJ and I talked about it yesterday too. Like, in terms of the player that you have the most confidence in taking a three-point shot, even at end of a game situation, it's Cam Spencer. Like, he is right now the only player who, when the ball leaves his hands, my first instinct is that's going in.
Yes. It stayed, and the thing about Cam that you really enjoy, and this is not a disparaging comment on Luke Kennard, but Cam is always in the shooting position.
Right.
He's never saying, let me catch it and figure out how to get to my shot. He's catching it, ready to launch it, and then he has to convince himself, okay, I'm going to put it on the floor, overplaying me. Let me figure it out from there. So, man, this guy has been a joy to have. I see, some of the local guys, whether it's Chris Harrington, DeMichael Cole, some of the other guys have noticed that you revisit last year's draft class, see Cam Spencer, Jalen Wells, and Zach Edey, and each one of those guys were questioned coming into the draft, even locally. And all three of those guys are stepping up and delivering in a way that, the draft class from 2 years before that never did. The David Roddy, Jake LaRavia, those guys. But to be fair, Vince Williams Jr. was part of that class 2 years before that, and he is still delivering for these guys.
What do you do with Vince Williams Jr. now, as hopefully Ja's back as the starting point guard, which is a positive? I mean, within all of this, as well as Vince has played at times, he was never supposed to be a point guard for this team. Where does he fit in it all?
Well, I think he easily fits. He's your number 2 point guard now. He's the guy you bring off the bench. Now, having said that, can he hold off, Cam Spencer in those moments? Because what Isolo has sort of gone to is that
Yes.
if Vince doesn't have it, I'm gonna go and trust Cam Spencer, as that de facto backup point guard and put him on the floor. And I know it's not the greatest organization that we're seeing, but I can live with, sort of the risk there. So what this has to do is, okay, some guys aren't meant to play 27, 28 minutes. Some guys, you get their best when they're in the 18 to 20-minute range. I think Vince, once you take some of that wear and tear off of him, some of that workload, you get him back to being his most efficient self. And I think being a backup point guard, that job is there. It really is there for him, behind Ja. And then you got to force Ty Jerome and Scottie Pippen Jr. when they come back in January or sometime thereafter to take that from you. But I think that slots pretty nicely in that situation because you give an offense with Ja, defense with Vince, kind of a double-edged sword right at point guard.
Was nice to see Ty out of the boot at the last game. So that was a good first step in perhaps finding a return sooner rather than later. One of the things about, especially facing a team like Portland, I thought illuminated how fortunate the Grizzlies are to have not fallen off a cliff with the injuries that they faced, because Portland really has suffered both on the guard front with Drew Holiday out and Scoot Henderson out and like Wesley out. And then we saw without Donovan Clingan and without Robert Williams having to lean on their rookie in Yang Hansen, who's kind of a more long-term project. And it was interesting talking to the Portland people too, from the perspective of, man, those Trailblazers fans sit there constantly thinking, how did we give up the opportunity to have Cedric Coward? And it's a testament to how good Cedric Coward has been early and the process of drafting a rookie and what that does to fans based on how much they're needed to be utilized, the long runway. We have no idea how Yang Hansen will play out. But we have seen Cedric Coward be awesome. And I wanted to get your take specifically on that exchange between Coward and Kawhi that happened after the Clippers game, where Cedric sought him out, wanted to ask him if this summer they could work out together. Since Kawhi's not on social media, he said he had to find some way to talk to him. And I had just read this great article that was in The Athletic this week about how Jaden McDaniels did summer workouts with Kawhi because Patrick Beverley pushed him to do so. And Patrick Beverley had a prior relationship to Kawhi when they played together. Just in terms of like what it means for Cedric Coward, one, to be the kind of person who seeks out Kawhi to have that conversation, and two, when you have these Kawhi comps starting to rise, he's not shying from them, both from approaching Kawhi, wanting to work with him, but also in the level of play that we've seen from him in his rookie season.
Well, I tell you what, that's a great question right there. And, when you talk about, first and foremost, these comps, man, these Cedric Coward comps, because think about it. When was the last time we heard, Portland regretting not taking a shooting guard,
right.
To the draft? Right. That was back when they had Drexler and had a chance to get Jordan and passed on Jordan to get Sam Bowie. And Cedric wears 2'3". He has the same frame as Jordan, and it's just one of those funny things that he keeps having those comps. But this latest comp, Kawhi Leonard, I love that story. I immediately locked in when I saw it developing at the end of the game. Kawhi isn't one of those guys that's going to stand around and just yap it up with guys on the court. He's about his business. And he was actually going towards his tunnel from the visiting team's bench straight across the court to the visiting tunnel. And, Coward came all the way across the court and met him right underneath the basket right there before he was able to get off the court. And basically they stood there for maybe, 10, 15 seconds. And it wasn't just a, hey, good game. Hey, stay healthy. Good luck. It started off like that. And then you saw Howard still grab onto him. And then Kawhi looked back and they continued the conversation with a follow-up. And that's when it was like, okay, let's go ahead and see if we can do that. You got to respect Cedric for wanting to do that, seeking guys out. I love to see young players look up to veteran players and say, hey, you've been in this league. I need to learn how to go about doing my business like that. There's not a better role model in terms of how you approach getting development and better than Kawhi Leonard when it comes to that. So kudos for Cedric for doing that. And great job for Kawhi for saying, absolutely, we can do it. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to, and one of the benefits now is that as that story develops, we all know what Cedric did. We all know how it's set up. These guys play again next week on Monday in LA. And, I have a chance to go and cover that game. And one of the reasons why I want to go out there specifically is to seek out Kawhi Leonard to see what his side of that exchange was. And then that'll be on Grind City Media in a mic check column coming your way next week. So keep it locked.
One more thing I wanted to get your take on before we let you go. It kind of got buried in the weekend, but Jock Landale had some comments on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and like his veteranship and how he's been able to speak as one of the older heads in the locker room. And we've seen Kenny, since moving to the bench unit, kind of unlock back to almost turn back time a little bit from a standpoint of their game against the Trailblazers, hit some threes, had some nice moves to the basket. He obviously is playing with the defensive energy, but just what have you seen behind the scenes of his leadership qualities? That is one of the reasons that it's not like one of the reasons he was brought in because he was part of the Desmond Bane trade, but it does give you a two-time NBA champion. There's value in that. He's been around a lot of teams. He's been around a lot of players. And how has he helped this group kind of navigate through this time period?
Well, I mean, one of the, and CJ can attest to this. We've talked about this on Grizz. We've talked about this before, and I called it a long time ago when I said that this guy needs to be willing to accept a sacrifice. It's going to be tough because, again, you're asking a first-year coach to go to a two-time NBA champion that you traded for and you penciled in as a starting shooting guard or small forward, the 2-3, to say, hey, we're going to be better if you go to the bench. And when you look at Kentavious, his resume, this guy started far more games than he's ever come off the bench. He's been a career starter on teams that are much more packed than what the Grizzlies are right now. And for him to be able to say, hey, all right, I'll do it. That was the biggest. And again, at a time when Ja Morant obviously was having his issues trying to embrace this, it was some growing pains there. We're still seeing the Jaren Jackson Jr. growing pains. I think that was the first piece of evidence that, okay, this thing can get better. Because when Kentavious Caldwell-Pope said, I'll come off the bench to allow Cedric Coward to be in the starting lineup, that really turned things in a different direction. And that was really when it started to turn around and you started to see the Grizzlies get a little bit more competitive. You started to see them start to build in terms of what you're seeing right now, in terms of the second unit being explosive, in terms of the starters and Cedric feeling confident that he can be out there and stay out there and not have to look over his shoulder. That move right there, I think we're going to look back and say, okay, when did the season really start to turn behind the scenes? And I think that move right there is going to show you that that's when behind the scenes, the mood started to change a little bit. And it's not easy. Kenny still gets in his moods when, the other night, he only played 18 minutes or 17 minutes, and he was the first one out of the locker room, and he didn't want to talk. And that's fine. He wasn't happy that game, and they won it. But then he's also going to have far more nights where he's going to give you everything he has, embrace his role, and be that spark plug coming off of that bench alongside guys like Cam and Santi and Jock. And when those guys go in there, they know that the energy has to shift. And one last thing on that bench unit, they're averaging 49 points a game, best in the NBA, almost 6 points more than the number 2 ranked team in bench scoring. And there's not a bigger gap. That's the biggest gap between two teams ranked in the top 10 by far. Right. Most teams are separated by 1 or 2 points. The Grizzlies have almost a 6-point advantage on the next best productive bench in the NBA. So that tells you what they're doing.
Do you view that as, how do I put this? Obviously, the Grizzlies have been finding success against teams with below 500 records, teams that are struggling this season. And generally, role players can thrive more against teams like that because they don't have the depth to match, for one thing. But also, it's a different level of competition. And we've seen when the Grizzlies have played, I think this goes back to bring it all back around to Ja and Jaren. That's the importance of those two coming back and operating as the stars that they are supposed to be for this team. Because when you were in a tight game against the Denver Nuggets, who did we see? Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. When you're in a tight game against the Pistons, who takes over? Cade Cunningham. When you're in, so on and so forth, we've seen these situations where Luka Doncic.
San Antonio Spurs, who took over? De'Aaron Fox.
And Harrison Barnes. But truly, it's the role players on the bench can help weather, and I don't want to put them down because they really were, especially that unit that was in there when the the Trailblazers cut it to 5 on Sunday. It was the bench unit that steadied things for the Grizzlies and got things back on track. But it will be interesting to see when healthy, and I'll prophesize it, when healthy, but how that looks against the better teams. It's one thing to stack up these wins against below 500 teams. It's another to find. That will be the next iteration of this all for the Grizzlies.
And that will be, and you have a great point. But as we said from the beginning, like you said, to circle it all the way back around, you have your foundation established right now. You're going to build a house. If you're going to build something, you have your blueprint, which the blueprint is what Tuomas Isalo said was that 6 minutes in Cleveland, right? You have your foundation, and that foundation is your bench, your role players. Can you sort of get guys that you can rely on, from 3 to 5 guys that you can rely on no matter what the superstars are doing, to give you what you need to keep you in games? And then the last piece is what you have inside the house and what's going to make it, a livable space. And that is Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant being able to take you to that next level. This team is not going to be a bottom 5 team in the NBA. They're too good and too established to be that, right? We know what they're not right now. And we know what they're not on the other end. They're not a top 5 team in the NBA right now. What they are is somewhere in that middle, somewhere in among those 20 teams in the middle or 10 teams in the middle. And can you put yourself in position to, contend? And Jaren and Ja have to do that. But to the final point about that bench is that, those guys have accepted their roles. They've embraced their roles. They changed the energy around the team, and they've done their job. Yeah. Now, can the headliners do their job to take this team to the next step? And that remains to be seen, as you said. In December, you have 12 games. 8 of them are against teams that are below 500. So this is a favorable month for you to catch 500 and then get above 500. 43% of the NBA is consisted of teams that are below 500. Almost half the league is below 500. So the Grizzlies just have to keep beating the teams they're supposed to beat. And eventually the numbers will put you back up, to that seed where you can start to find your groove and get going.
Mike, appreciate you as always. You can find his latest at grindcitymedia.com. We will see you later.
All right, I got 2 more cups brewing for you guys, man.
Thank you. Be sure to bring it in the cup, please. Thank you so much. All right, that was Mike Wallace. He joins us every Tuesday. We always appreciate him. I love drinking hot drinks out of glass cups. I'm serious. Where did you think I was going with that?
You just stopped. I love drinking. I was like, oh, okay, turn up.
No,
We're having this conversation.
I love like a hot caramel apple cider in a glass cup at a restaurant. Getting fancy. Will Coleman just walked in with food. It's a good day. CJ and we gotta do squats. We gotta eat some food. We gotta talk about the Memphis Tigers. Big win over Baylor last weekend. Big game coming up against Louisville. We'll talk about all that with Will after a quick break.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Just a ham. You're the other white meat.
How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
In the 7 games that he has played, they have been the best rebounding team and the best assist team in the NBA. And a lot of that goes to Vince Williams, who has been Rondo.
Vince Rondo, man.
But this is 100% attributable to Zach Edey.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dome Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Welcome back, welcome back. It is Tuesday. That means it is time for former Memphis Tiger Will Coleman to join us in studio. He brings treats, we bring squats. How are you, Will?
Wait, are we still squatting?
Hey,
yeah, you said we were
You started
making
this,
a thing.
CJ.
But I thought we were eating. Whatever, fine. I'll eat
you
and
have
I'll
to
squat.
do both.
You can do both.
Well, I'll break the news early. This time around, you only have to do 124 squats. Which is down from like was it 163?
Yeah.
I don't know. Once I got to 150, it was anything over
That
that.
boy
felt
CJ was
absolutely
sweating last week. He
ridiculous.
hit that 160. Man, he wore short sleeves today. I think secretly CJ knew he had to do squats. That's why he didn't wear a sweater today.
Oh no, he absolutely knew. Just like I originally put jeans on for today, and then I said I can't wear jeans and squat. I'm gonna rip these jeans. So that's
Yeah.
where we're at. Big win for Memphis, though, Will.
Yes. But I'm gonna
Okay, wait,
derail
I'm
you a
sorry,
little bit
yes,
just because
let's,
we got to
reveal.
kind of hit this with
Let's
urgency,
go.
okay?
Oh, with
First off,
urgency.
this is hot, so we got to get it out there. First, I got some ice cream, okay?
Ice cream.
Got some ice cream, okay? And here I have just something simple,
Okay.
something easy.
Okay.
Well, it's not really. It's easy, for your
Yeah.
boy, of course. You know what I'm saying?
CJ has thrown himself
But
into the door.
what we have a little sugar and butter today.
All right.
I have a apple crisp.
Holy moly.
Get your little.
An apple crisp.
Yeah. Get your little. Y'all come on, attack that. Get your ice cream before it. You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
mind if I do.
Don't get you some of that.
Thank you. This looks incredible. And it's hot. While
Yeah.
I cut into this, Memphis beats Baylor
Memphis-
over the weekend.
Memphis
Your
does
biggest
beat Baylor.
takeaways from that win were?
It's possible. It's possible for us to come together as a team and play together and put a full game together and win some games that, quite honestly, no one thinks we could win. Everybody thought, everybody thought Baylor was going to come in here and curb stomp us, but we stuck it out. And we was able, because usually, Memphis has a history of, blowing leads or losing games or losing tight games, but the guys came together and they came away with the win.
It's so good. It's so warm. It's so cozy. This is a cozy meal. I just recently went back to Blue City Cafe for the first time in a long time. They have like an apple dumpling.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in a skillet, comes with ice cream on it. It's one of my favorite sweet treats.
Yeah.
It's right up there. And it has apples in it, so it's an appropriate breakfast food.
Yeah.
Even with the ice cream. I appreciate this greatly.
Well, is that granola?
Oh my God. Homemade granola?
Nah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out.
Nah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
That
I'm
is
okay with that.
so good.
I'm okay with that.
In the game,
Mhm.
held Baylor to 34% shooting, outscored them 46-22 in the paint. How did you see this Tigers team really lean on its size in this one?
I think they can lean on their size for a lot of games. I mean, just their height, their length. CJ does.
Oh, he's rolling the hips.
The Shmurda dance back there. He hula hooping.
Good stuff, Will.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
I think sometimes we often forget that we are a long and athletic team. And everybody knows referees like the more aggressive team. Nobody know ref like a team that cry a lot, whine a lot, or just always
True.
Just chirping at them. What a call at? What a foul at? If we can just go out and just hoop and just play together, I think we could beat a lot more teams that people think we aren't supposed to beat.
The effort was
it was on. It was on 100. It was on like night and day.
One of those players being Aaron Bradshaw,
Yes.
who has had 2 good games. One was against Southern Illinois, so take that as you will. But against Baylor, 17 points and 7 rebounds, coming off of a coach's decision, DNP. How do you evaluate how Penny is handling the Aaron Bradshaw situation, and how Aaron Bradshaw himself is such an important piece of all of this?
Bradshaw could have responded one of 2 ways. He could have continued to pout, or I'm not going to say continue because I don't know if he really. I mean, anybody's going to be upset if somebody just say, "Hey,
he could have pouted."
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
He could have pouted. He could have, but instead, he took it to the chin and just responded very well, and it may have woken him up. Now, can we get this consistently from Bradshaw? That's the question, because he's going to have another huge test on Saturday. But it's just one of those things where we just have to wait and see.
As for Zach Davis, led the way, American Conference Player of the Week, 23 points, 13 rebounds. We talked last week just about who do you trust on this Memphis team, and it was kind of met with I'm really not sure.
Yeah.
Has Zach Davis asserted himself as someone you trust definitively? Or is he on his way?
He on his way.
I'll put it in that way.
He's on his way. It's like anything in life, man. You got to see some consistency, and just be. It could be work, it could be life, it could be your dating life. It could be anything. I'm preaching here, but it's just like you gonna want to see back to back efforts consistently to see if we can trust a guy like this, or to see if we can lean on him when it's like a like a Will Barton. Hey, we need a bucket. Go get it. Back at when we need a bucket. Hey, we're a CDR. Get a bucket. Chris Crawford. Yeah, Jeremiah Martin.
Right.
We need a bucket. Chris Crawford. We need a bucket. So it's like, have we found that guy yet on this team? But like you said, it could very well be him. But we just have to let's get through another game. And I think I'm excited for the Louisville match because it's a very talented team. They shoot the ball well. So I'm excited to see how we defend and step up.
Before we get into the Louisville of it all, I really like Simon Majok a lot. I've liked him from the beginning, and he just gives so much effort. You talk about high effort, high energy guys. Every time he hits the floor, that block that he had was awesome, and just one of those plays that felt like it carried over so much energy into the rest of the team.
I can't remember how long he's been playing basketball.
Not long.
But you can kind of, I resonate with it just because I didn't start playing basketball till I was a junior in high school. And so seeing him, still kind of baby deerish, play hard.
But then you see those moments of confidence. He finger wagged after that block.
Yeah,
I was like, ooh,
I
you're
like
starting to feel it a little bit.
Yeah, I like it. So as he grows and as Penny continues to throw him in the fire, I think he can grow into a fantastic player.
Memphis Louisville reignites this weekend. I was doing some prep for this segment with you and just reflecting on Memphis Louisville of the past. Jason Munz has a great series on some of the historical moments between those two teams up at the Commercial Appeal. You didn't get to play against Louisville, though. They played the next year and the year after. They did not play when you were there. How did you feel about that?
I told CJ, 2 weeks ago, Louisville and Memphis could very well be one of those, that the rivalry that we could reignite and just have some fun with it. We started it. It started to become a thing with Gonzaga. It was fun while it lasted, but Gonzaga's so far away. But Louisville right up the road. You can make that drive on a Saturday morning if you really. What are your true fans gonna make that ride? Because I think it's a 5-hour ride. 6?
Yeah, probably around
5-6 hours.
I had friends visit once, and they made a day trip drive to Louisville, so it's doable.
That's doable.
Yeah.
And so I 100% think that's something that we need to try and spark up again.
5 hours and 42 minutes from.
Depending on who you're in the car with, that's a 4:45 ride.
Is there anything that comes to mind to you specifically when it comes to this rivalry?
I've only heard stories,
right.
and I think people are excited. I think people would love to relive the nostalgic feel of it, because like you said, Mun's got some crazy stories. I've heard crazy stories. I just, I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to experience any of that, but I think this is something that can excite fans. Again, some consistency would be good, I feel like, because people are already frustrated, because no one can remember the players because of the transferring and all this stuff and all the moving pieces. But I think if somebody had like one of those dates that you could circle on your calendar every single year, I think that is something that would get fans excited.
We don't have enough like hate-fueled, just good old-fashioned hate where even if you are a player with no experience, like you're not from here. I thought Penny had some comments about like Curtis Givens being on this team and how that's been helpful from a locker room standpoint of him being able to translate, hey, this is what basketball means to Memphis. So for these players who are here for the first time and maybe the only time, they've been able to grasp just how important the Tigers are, how basketball is to the city and everything that comes with it. I think when it comes to these rivalries, like you can show old videos, you can read articles, you can have people retell stories, but it shouldn't be that hard to drum up. You're supposed to hate this team because you have Memphis across your chest and they have Louisville across theirs, and they haven't played since 2017. So it's hard when there's that amount of space between it. But I am hopeful that it can drum back up because sports are more fun when you have legitimate rivalries like this.
It definitely need to be like not like I'm not gonna say a Duke UNC. Beef,
I think in the old days there were people who would say it rivaled Duke UNC, or at least was in the same sentence.
Yeah, I think we need to get it back to that piece or that part because, like I said, the excitement is there. Whenever I see fans or whenever I talk to fans, you still to this day they bring. I remember the Dana Kirk days, and all people still remember a lot of those old memories and that. Like I said, the nostalgia of things. So I think if we can get something like this drumming up, fans will be excited and be enticed to get down there.
Have you been able to watch any other college basketball teams? I saw my daily sports newsletter that I get from Yahoo pointed out that it's only December, but based on history, we probably already know who will win the Final Four this year, who will win the national championship, because it's usually one of the top 12 teams. Like the past 21 champions in men's college basketball and 35 of the past 36 were ranked in the top 12 of week 6 of the AP poll during their title winning seasons. So your top 12 right now are Arizona, Michigan, Duke, Iowa State, UConn, Purdue, Houston, Gonzaga, Michigan State, BYU, Louisville, and Alabama.
I got to, I'm just waiting on it. And I know we talked about this when I first got here. I don't know how or when or if it will happen, but I got to see a Pete and Boozer matchup. I got to see it. I want to see it. Boozer to me, yes, I'm a huge core Pete fan, but Boozer to me is the best big in the country.
Why?
Man, just his versatility. He can handle the ball. He can shoot it. He know how to use his body. He got a low post presence, soft touch around the rim. Little bunny jumper on 100. Because a lot of people, the mid-range game is dying. That's just how I feel.
I'm dying. Shit.
That's just how I feel, but I think Boozer is the best big in the country by far.
For people who don't know, we are squatting the net ranking of the Memphis Tigers every week. We're like the cheerleading squad that does a push-up for every touchdown that is scored in a game.
There it is.
And last week we had to do 160. This week we only have to do 124. I'm at 60.
Harder.
No, it's not.
Oh, you're outside your mind.
You had 2 portions of the apple crumble with ice cream.
Why didn't you guys stop me?
I had 1 portion of the apple crumble with ice cream. Will, does ice cream definitively make every apple crisp-like product better?
100%. 100%.
Break it down for me.
100%. It's just, man, it's a textures game, and it's a hot and cold game. You got the hot crispiness of the apples and the crumble, and then you got that nice savory ice cream just put on top. It's just like when 2 worlds collide and make magic. I mean, apple pie and ice cream is about as American as you can get as well.
It's true.
So other than a hot dog, I mean, I think it's a match made in heaven.
Will, what's it going to take for the Tigers to start making some threes? Like, what's the deal with that? Is that a system thing? Is it a player thing?
That's 100% a player thing.
Every year we're having the same conversation about this now.
Player thing.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's like a stage fright. I don't know what it is. I honestly do not know.
Not a stage fright.
I mean, I don't. That may be.
I know.
That may not be the answer, but I just, man, we're just. We're just bad shooters.
Yeah.
And it's like we don't have anybody on the floor when if a shot go up. You know, usually you can. That's good. As soon as it leave their hand, that's good.
Right.
Oh, we about to set up a 3 for whoever. It don't matter. That's good. But we just
I almost lapped you.
But we just consistently, and I'll continue to say this consistently, just, Donnell Mack, Robert Saleh, Chris Crawford, those were our, elite shooters.
Right.
And I just don't know if we've had anybody at Memphis as elite as them in the shooting category since them.
I'm stretching these quads out after our successful 124.
I can't breathe. My lungs hurt.
I'll tell you what would help.
My lungs hurt.
A win over Louisville.
Yeah, it will.
Might get us within 100 for next week.
Man, we can take that. We got to make this happen. I don't know what it's going to take. I do know what it's going to take. We got to make some 3-pointers, and we got to take care of the ball.
Without that win over Baylor, there's a lot of people tuning out for this game against Louisville this weekend, and instead, it's right on the forefront of people's attention.
Yeah.
And then their game against Vanderbilt. And then Gary brought it up yesterday, Mississippi State just lost to San Francisco, who Memphis beat earlier this season, and you were looking at this 4-game stretch of Baylor, Louisville, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, and it was looking really scary there for a hot second.
Maybe my expectations were 2. I said 2 out of 4.
Well, now that's a very real possibility.
It sounded like we can grab 3.
Whew.
I'm changing my mind.
All right, you're saying 3?
I'm going 3 out of 4.
All right. By the time we see you next week, we will know how the Louisville one plays out. Vanderbilt's next Wednesday. Will, as always, thank you for the crumble. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the ice cream. We got to take a quick break. We will be back.
Well, I got dishes of yours over there also.
Okay, I'm gonna get those.
We'll do TV Tuesday after a quick break. CJ will get into what we're watching. He watched the Diddy documentary. I started Stranger Things. We will also, Are you watching Stranger Things?
Stranger. Let me tell you something. I'm a little crazy.
Okay.
Stranger Things been done.
I still enjoy it though.
I'm saying, like, for me, I watched it like.
Oh, you did it right when it came out.
Each episode, damn, they're like
They're
a
so
movie.
long.
Like
that's my issue with it. Don't even give me. Oh, it makes me so angry.
I think that's get you glued in, baby.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it in the next segment. We'll talk about it with you next week when hopefully I have watched the whole first part before the second part ultimately comes out. We'll also get into the Golden Globe nom, some Netflix talk, all that on the other side. Woo.
Own the 2025-26 Grizzlies season with the 10-game Flex Pack, the ultimate way to catch all the action on your terms. Choose your favorite matchups from intense rivalries to weekend thrillers and customize your pack to fit your schedule. With 10 games to pick, you'll never miss the moments that matter most. Visit Grizzlies.com/packs today to build your perfect ticket pack and cheer on the Grizzlies your way. It's your team, your season, and your schedule. So don't miss out.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Grizz Nation, don't foul out on dinner plans. Hit Sticks Express in downtown Memphis instead. Fresh hibachi, steak, shrimp, sushi tacos, and yes, our legendary sake slushy to keep things cool. Order online with code STIX901, STIX901, and knock 10% off your tab. It's the perfect pick and roll for game night. Sticks Express, fast, fresh, always a slam dunk. And hey, come see us at our Collierville location too.
Monday Night Raw returns with non-stop action, unmatched energy, and the superstars you love.
We don't get mad, we get even. We don't go home till we beat them. This is our time, we ain't leaving. Give me the crown undefeated.
Witness the moments you'll never forget. Monday Night Raw, Memphis. Monday, February 16th. Tickets and Ringsider packages on sale next Friday.
Grizz Nation, Friday night just got a whole lot better. Introducing Buckets and Brews, the ultimate way to tip off your weekend. Every Friday this season, grab a terrace-level ticket to the Grizz game and 2 12-ounce Miller Lights for just $55. Get great seats, cold brews, and Grizzlies basketball. It's everything you need to start your weekend off right. So get the deal that's too cold to hold. Go to grizzlies.com/Friday to lock in your tickets today.
Welcome back. Time for a little TV Tuesday. We're watching some news from around the TV world. CJ, I missed this until you sent it. I think I was just offline yesterday, but Paramount is trying to do a hostile bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Paramount's back in the picture, trying to take this thing from Netflix.
So Netflix has the deal with, and I don't understand how much of this works.
Business.
But so Netflix has the deal with the HBO Max executives.
Okay.
Paramount is taking their deal directly to shareholders.
Oh.
And it's going to be, I think, roughly $4 more a share cash. So I think it's about $28 billion would it be dollars more, something like that, more than what Netflix is offering. And Paramount has a group backing them financially that includes Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and I think the Arab Emirates,
everything.
I think. And also there's a financial group who is either led by Jared Kushner or has Jared Kushner at the very least in some sort of a
private
prominent
equity firm
role.
was founded by Jared Kushner.
Okay, so he founded it and he's in charge of it.
And
so,
he's lined up as an investor to back the offer.
yeah, all of them are involved on one side, and then on the other side you got Netflix. And I think they have till Warner Brothers Discovery, has till early January to decide what they're doing. And they could say, all right, no, we're not taking that. Our shareholders don't want that. The shareholders will have to say that about Paramount. Or they could say, hey, our shareholders might want this. Can we extend this window a bit more here and set up longer negotiations?
This is literally a plot in Succession season 5.
All of this is just
This was
awful.
an entire storyline
Terrible.
on Succession. Maybe it's an immersive project with HBO Max, trying to bring interest back. Maybe they're bringing Succession back. Maybe Logan Roy will come back from the dead.
Okay.
Just kidding. This is all terrible. I hate everything about it. It's fine.
You got monopolies being formed. Netflix, and I can't remember what the number was exactly. But Netflix, if Netflix and Warner Brother combined, and we're just looking at the properties that they had this year alone, they'd have all of the Golden Globe noms, basically.
Wow.
Right? Like if you sit down and think about it, they'd have a fair percentage, like a large percentage.
They'd have a lot of them.
Of the Golden Globe noms.
Okay, so the Golden Globe noms, I only wrote down for Best Television Drama, Best TV Musical Comedy, and Limited Series. So this doesn't include all the actor categories, but Television Drama is The Diplomat, which I believe is Netflix, The Pit, which is HBO Max, Pluribus, Severance, and Slow Horses, which are all Apple TV. So Apple TV will save us, as expected. And The White Lotus, which is HBO Max. TV Musical Comedy, Abbott Elementary, which is ABC Disney. The Bear, which is also Hulu, I believe. Hacks, HBO Max, Nobody Wants This, Netflix, Only Murders in the Building, Hulu, ABC, and The Studio, which is Apple TV. And then Limited Series is Adolescence, All Her Fault, Beast and Me, Black Mirror, Dying for Sex, and The Girlfriend. So those are the nominees for this year. I've kind of fallen out of having watched all of them. I used to be pretty up on watching most of and I guess to be fair, like I still watch most of them. I haven't been able to watch The Diplomat. It is on my list because I love Kerry Russell. I'm in the middle of Pluribus. I'm now one episode behind on Pluribus. I love that show. I understand why some people are out on it. It is slow and it requires you to be very comfortable with very little happening from episode to episode, and especially like one episode is one character almost the entire episode. It's Rhea Seehorn, and it's just her. It's just Carol. You are just with Carol in this universe. But I love the existential, like, discourse and the existential debates that the show brings up in my head. Like, what would you do if this situation happened in the real world? If we were faced with it's basically a zombie show, but the zombies are just insanely happy, helpful people who will do anything to you, and you, for whatever reason, and a group of small people around the world are immune to this group. Do you utilize those people? Do you have them build you your dream house? Do you have them take you on private planes to some of the coolest places in the world? Or do you fight against it and want to get back to a place of, like, quote unquote, normal humanity? I find it very interesting. And also with grief, like, if someone dies, like, why would you want to go back to this part? And your life will never be the same anyway. I really am enjoying it. Again, it is a bit of a slow burn. I did start Stranger Things, the first part of the last season. The episodes are way too long, but they're good. I'm back in it. I watched episode 2 yesterday, and I do think it's a funny bit that the parents are finally like, oh, these are the monsters the kids have been talking about all this time. And we did find out that a wine bottle is more effective against them than a golf club, which who would have thought? You know, never underestimate a wine mom. She can come through trying to save her children.
So you sped right past the Golden Globes. I was trying to find the exact number over here, but I do want to get
filibustering.
I do want to get your thoughts on who do you like out of those categories, specifically the ones that you sent in.
I think that's why I The Pit, I guess, was probably the most interesting show for me this year. The biggest surprise for me this year. And I heard a great argument of, if the Netflix thing happens, a show like The Pit probably never gets the recognition that it ended up getting this year, because The Pit was able to lean on the brand of HBO Max to carry it into hey, this is on HBO Max. I wonder if this is better than I would expect a medical procedural show to actually be. And then it became we don't have a lot of like universal television cultural phenomenons, but a lot of people watch The Pit. That was a very highly watched show from this year. I thought the season of White Lotus was fun. He has the potential to move into a higher space for this year of television. And then I'm a Hacks person for the comedy side. Give Hacks everything for as long as it exists. Okay. But I wouldn't be mad. I mean, Abbott Elementary had its run too. Yeah. Have you watched any of them?
First, any dramas? No. What's the comedies?
Hacks.
No.
Abbott Elementary. The Bear.
Nope.
Nobody Wants This.
No.
Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
Oh, and The Studio. The Studio was one of my favorite shows of the year.
Okay.
I really enjoyed The Studio.
Okay. Yeah. Then by default of not having seen the rest of them, in part because I find some of them boring.
Yeah.
Abbott would be the one that I gravitate towards the most, and that's why I know that my TV tastes are not up to par with everybody else's.
No, everybody can have their own TV taste.
I love me some DMV.
I know you do.
I love me some St. Denis Medical.
I know you do. I gave my mom so much grief. I don't even know what the name of the show is. There's that new cheerleading show on NBC.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Tumble?
I can see.
Is it Tumble?
It can't be Tumble.
No, that's too obvious.
It sounds something like Tumble.
Well, my mom said, "Are you going to watch this show?" And I said, "No, are you?" Like, why on earth would you watch this cheerleading sitcom? And she was like, "I hear it's fun."
Stumble.
Okay.
Stumble.
Stumble. Whatever. It all rhymes here. It did remind me, though, I do want to watch Dying for Sex, which you really said was a good show.
Best TV show of the year.
Okay.
Like that show tackles things that make us uncomfortable. The two things that make us most uncomfortable: sex, particularly promiscuity, and death. And it is a woman who's trying to find her way, knowing she's got a time limit. We talked to Gary. You talked to Gary about this yesterday. Like, would you want to know?
Yeah.
Well, she probably didn't want to know, but she knows.
Right.
She knows. And so now it is, okay, well, what can I do to make the most out of my life? Well, I can have sex. I can do some weird stuff sexually. Let's see what that's about. I've always wanted to, but hadn't, because like I got to live here. Yeah. I got to look at these people. Right. Well, now I know I'm not going to make it for another 13, 14 months. So let's go ahead and knock it out. It is really, really good. I loved it so very, very much. It was an enjoyable watch. Laughed till I cried multiple times watching the show and then cried uncontrollably at the end. And you know what's going to happen at the end. You know this all culminates in her dying. But the way they do that scene and the way they do that episode, one of the best death episodes in all of TV history. It was incredible, start to finish.
I just read a book in similar fashion where it's a memoir and the author is dead and he is going to die, and it still hits you like a ton of bricks. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I knew what was going to happen, and yet here I am bawling my little eyes out. I will add that show to my list.
30-minute episodes, and they fly by.
Let me bump it up. Let me bump it up in the list.
We're almost done with college football Saturdays. Surely college football Saturdays aren't going to be near as packed as they've been in the past couple of weeks.
Please have some respect.
It's not packed.
Have some respect.
It's Navy, Army, Navy. The Prairie View A&M in South Carolina State,
Boise State, Washington, and the Bucked Up LA Bowl.
Shout out Bucked Up. Get bucked up. Get
that's
bucked
all.
up. Yeah, so it's 3 college football games. So you got it. Maybe 12 episodes. Maybe.
Oh, no. There's no 12?
Maybe. Might be 8.
It's got to be less than that.
Probably 8.
Okay. You watched the Diddy documentary.
Did I watch the Diddy documentary?
That is also high on my list to get to.
It's a good watch. I was apprehensive about watching it because, we know. Mm-hmm. These stories aren't new, and they've been. So when I was on TikTok, one of the things that came up constantly on my TikTok feed was, hey, here's this story about Diddy told by one of these people who were at the party. So okay, this stuff has gotten out there, and we got a good understanding about what it was that he was doing. I think this documentary, though, does a really good job of reaching out to people and getting people to come on and talk. That's not hearsay. So whereas the social media clips that I was watching from what's her name, Jaguar Jones and other people, right? That's some of that was hearsay. But they're talking to the detective who was responsible for investigating Tupac's murder. And they're talking to gang members in LA who had affiliations with both Suge Knight and Sean Combs, right? So they're talking to the people who were actually involved. They're talking to people who were there from the founding of Bad Boy Records and before that. Hey, we came up together under Andre Reed, and this is what he was like, and this is what happened. And then we left and we founded this new company, and this is what that was like, and this is what happened with that. So they're talking to actual people who know firsthand what is going on. And the stories are what the stories are. And I don't need to hear the tales of abuse from people who were victims of abuse. I don't want to have to put that in my mind and live through that pain with them. But I think this documentary does a really good job of showcasing, one, we talked about it before the show, why women don't come forward. And it's women, not just the ones who were abused, but it's the ones who were on the fringes of that, right? I don't want to come forward and say the wrong thing and then be the reason he gets off because everybody points to me like, aha, see, she was mistaken this one time. Women be lying. You can't believe them. You can't trust them. So there's that component to it. And also, I think the thing that stuck out to me is, hey, who are you allowing to shape you and your views and your world, right? Who's your role model? We talk about role models from time to time on the show and tell the story about my dad saying, hey, if you can't call them and say, hey, I need a hug, and they come immediately and give you a hug, they can't be your role model. And for Sean Combs to be allowed to, not be allowed to, because it's a celebrity culture that we live in, right? Sean Combs pops out in the 90s and is, here's a black man, a black business owner making millions of dollars, billionaire. He's got the music label. He's got the vodka brand. He's got the clothing line. That's a good person for me to try and emulate. And he is not a good person for you to try and emulate. And then who gets to be the guardian, the gatekeeper? We got to stop having those. But who's the guardian and the gatekeeper of a particular culture? There were so many things that he did that we, particularly as young people at that time and black people at that time, took as like, oh, okay, that's that's what I need to be like. That's what I'm going to do. It's like, yo, but like, should you?
Mm-hmm.
Should you? That there's an episode of Boondocks about the story of Gangstalicious, where Gangstalicious is a rapper, and all the little kids and all the people in the streets want to be like Gangstalicious. And then we find out Gangstalicious is gay. It's like, oh no, we can't be like Gangstalicious no more, right? But it's that type of a narrative and that type of a story around Diddy. Not the homosexuality part, but the abuse, the willingness to abuse everybody that he comes in contact with. Not just foe, but friend and loved ones as well. It's a really good documentary. It's 4 episodes long. And the director is a woman, and you can tell it's a woman director because the way she goes about handling things. 50 Cent get a lot of the pub because he's a producer, but she did a tremendous job directing this documentary. I'm blanking on her name, but she did a wonderful job directing
Alex Stapleton.
Great job. And so it just tracks Combs from upbringing all the way through till the arrest gets made. They talk to jurors also.
That's what I saw circulating on
so
social media a little bit.
One juror is like, yo, why? And it's such a hard concept for people to grasp because it's difficult for me to grasp. Why not just leave? If all of that is happening, just leave. But, we know the story. We know,
talk about this all the time.
We know he had blown up Kid Cudi's car. We know he had kidnapped Capricorn, right? Like, we knew those stories. So if you're Cassie and he's blowing up cars and he's kidnapping people and he's taking people to parks and threatening to kill them and he's got bats over somebody's head, forcing them to give up their rights to the money that they've earned, right? If he's capable of doing that, imagine what he's going to do to me. Yeah. I can't leave. And
I even take it outside of the acts of violence and being afraid of that. It's really hard to leave a situation that is your life. It's hard. Like, we all sit here from the outside. Oh, why did so-and-so not leave? Why didn't you not do it? Because it's difficult. Because it's someone who you cared about. At some point in time, Cassie loved Diddy. And think how difficult it is when someone you love is like a terrorizer, is an abuser. And I never try to put myself in the shoes of that person because you just don't know until it happens to you. Like, it sometimes feels like such a throwaway thing to say. You won't know unless it happens to you someday, and I hope it doesn't. But it really is true. Like, you don't know someone's situation. But that's what we always revert back to in this stuff.
Yeah, and so there's that mentality coming through there with one juror. The other juror is trying not to look like a Diddy fan, but comes off looking like a Diddy fan.
Oh, that's tough.
So like that's how you end up with it being 40 months with time served as the sentence, when he should probably be getting he should definitely be getting way more. The fact that I didn't know this, the jurors weren't sequestered. And so they were able to go home, and they were told not to get on social media and not to watch the news. But like it's what the world was talking about at the time. That was just odd to me. The footage that they got, that 50 Cent got, it gets used, and it's used in a really cool way. That's going to be the thing that they use from an advertising standpoint, a promotion standpoint, to pull people in. Like, hey, we've got this footage from Diddy that he didn't want out there. But that footage is fine. It's not the point of the documentary, I don't think. Documentaries have a hook and a point. The point is what I said earlier about why women don't come forward and about the gatekeepers of a particular culture and what happens when they're rotten and they make a rotten culture. What do we do from that standpoint? But the hook is, hey, we got Diddy and behind the scenes footage. It's great. It's great.
I will be watching it eventually. I was telling CJ off air, my documentary viewing is down. It's usually my workout time, and Chris and I have been going to a real gym where you can't just turn on a documentary and watch it while you work out.
Okay, they did there are questions in the chat about some of the rumors that are out there, and enough people have said it, and so we all kind of take it and believe it.
Yeah.
But it hadn't been proven, right? This documentary does a really good job of telling the story, staying away from some of the
hearsay
and more salacious
facts.
things, and focusing on like what is actually what has actually been proven and been talked about in a court of law and affidavits and things like that. So.
All right, CJ, enjoy your PIP meeting. Everybody else, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
I got a PIP meeting. They're gonna be mad because I'm late, but I'm talking about the Diddy doc.
We'll see everybody tomorrow. It'll be a Wednesday. D'Angelo Williams will join us. We'll get his thoughts on the new Memphis head football coach. Should be a fun one. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you later. Bye.